Hello and good morning, everyone. This is Asad. In this lecture, we are going to focus on business language. What sort of language is used in business relationships? The relationship between corporations, nationally and internationally. With this being said, we are aiming basically at speaking and listening. How focusing on business language can help us navigate formal speaking and listening scenarios. Starting with the definition of business language. So basically, business conversation that happens at workplace is a business language. There are multiple firms that are multinational or national, and we happen to observe that the language used between the employees, the workers, the clients, and the owners has a very formal touch. The tone is very formal and respectful. That depends on the register. Register is basically a social linguistic term that is referred to a specific usage of language that has jargons. For example, entrepreneurship, profit, net worth, return. These are basically the terms that are used in business fields, in the business arena. Starting with the focus on listening and speaking, our goal is to improve understanding of business language while listening and to use effective phrases for speaking confidently in business settings. So, our aim in this lecture will be to improve our listening for different business setups and different phrasal verbs that are used in business setups. We can use those phrasal verbs in our speaking. Okay. So starting with the listening, as it said that listening is more than hearing words. What does it mean? Listening is not just the words, but the entire context, meaning, tone, and context. These are some of the paralinguistic tools that you keep in your mind while becoming a sharp listener. For example, when you have a conversation with your friend and you are not aware of the context, you cannot listen to what he's saying properly. But if you are aware of the context, you can easily navigate the listening. Now we have strategies to improve our business listening comprehension. First one is focus on keywords and phrases. There are some jargons, as I mentioned earlier, registered that is used in the business setup. For example, deadlines, priorities, and challenges. So you have to focus on the keywords and phrases in order to improve your business setup listening. Okay. And then the second one is exposing oneself to different English accents. So as you all know that we have different accents, the American accent, the British accent, the Canadian accent, and the Australian accent, and so on and so forth. So when we are aware of the different flavors of these different accents, we can navigate the business listening very easily. The third one is predict content based on context. As I said earlier, listening is more than words. So you have to predict what the speaker is about to say based on the context. Okay? And the next one is the use of technology. In order to navigate the listening in business setups, you must master the art of technology that includes recording meetings, listening to business podcasts, or videos for practice. Now let's come to speaking. There are some useful phrases and expressions that are used in business setups that can really help you navigate formal situations in your life if you get proper knowledge and proper awareness about these expressions and how they are used. First one is making polite requests. Well, in business relationships, monetary relationships, all the time we seek to make polite requests and we intend and all the time we navigate politeness, right? So, for example, could you please send the report by Friday? So, could is the model verb that is used for making polite requests. So, that can be handy. Okay. Second example is, would you mind reviewing this document? Would you mind sending me this email? Can you please help me with this project? Many examples. The second one is giving suggestions. You can use formal business language to give suggestions in any formal situation. It will help you to navigate speaking. I suggest we consider alternative suppliers. This is a kind of suggestion that is formally made. Second example, perhaps we should schedule a follow-up meeting. This is another example which illustrates giving suggestions. Continuing with the same process, the third one is expressing agreement or disagreement politely. Well, all the time in business relationships, you cannot be direct, you have to be indirect. That is a pragmatic rule of indirectness, whereby the speakers do not say what's in their mind explicitly. Okay, so this is the rule for navigating business scenarios. The fifth one is clarifying and confirming. Example is just to clarify. You mean that. These are some expressions used for clarifying. The last one is closing conversations. Whenever you close conversation in a business or formal setting, you use thank you for your time. It was my pleasure meeting you. That's it. So this was all about the usage of business language and the usage of model verbs. And in order to navigate listening in business language, how are the strategies employed? What strategies can be employed? And in order to navigate speaking scenarios, what are the phrases that we can learn from business scenarios? That's it. Thank you.